Today we are flying to Antarctica. We have a 5-hour flight on our Airbus A340 from Cape Town to the continent, and about an hour before landing we all furiously put on our polar gear. Despite it being quite an overcast day, the temperature was really mild, about -5 degrees Celsius or 23 degrees Fahrenheit.
Welcome to Antarctica.
We spent a couple of hours here using the ice bar and transit lounge before boarding the ski-equipped Basler for our short flight to Whichaway. Whichaway is warm and cosy and I love it. It's the first place I stayed at when I visited a few years ago initially. And it was great to see our squaw, our little camp mascot Dickie, still here enjoying our sauna. Until tomorrow, I'll give you more from day 2.
So today we're heading to the penguins. The emperor penguins are the largest species. They're about 1.2 metres tall. At this time of the year, it's the end of January, beginning of February, quite a lot of the penguins have already grown into their adult feathers, so we actually only saw a few of them. But to be honest with you, our group had never seen penguins before at all, so we were happy to see any. Because the penguin colonies are by the coast, we also got to see the most spectacular views of the ice shelf. It was one of my highlights of the trip, that flyover with this white high shelf and this blue water, and it really gave you a sense of the continent. It was only day 2 and already I'd had comments from the group saying, how can it get any better than this? Well, stay tuned for day 3 and I'll tell you more. Today we were going on a proper adventure. Across the glacier and down to the edge of the continent where we were going to rock climb across the face with the views in the distance of these incredible ice waves. We all got roped up in teams of about 3 with a guide each, and for many of our group, they'd never rock climbed before. We ended with lunch on the top of the mountain, and to share these moments with special people, just incredible. And just as we finished, we saw an Adelie penguin. What an ending! The rocks around Whichaway are perfect for them to breed, but it's still really rare to see them. When we got back to Whichaway, a couple of the group had massages, and then it was game on. We had games night, which over the week saw the girls coming out winners over the boys. Stay tuned for day 4 and a really special day for everyone. So today is day 4 and we've got a surprise for the group. We're going to jump onto our Twin Otter and head over to Fang Runway for a tour of Echo Base, something we don't normally do for our Whichaway clients. After visiting camp for a while, we went up one of the nunataks, which is a nearby mountain, to have a perfect bird's eye view of the camp. And from here, you can really see that it was inspired by our co-founder Patrick spending too much time watching Star Wars as a kid. We then surprised the group with a low fly-through of the Fang mountain range and then also the blue ice waves before we headed back to Whichaway. The entire group were mesmerised. And then after dinner, Mother Nature gave us another surprise with the first sunset of the season, where the sun dipped below the horizon and we actually had a perfect full moon rise. Today has to be one of my favourite days. I have 2 words for you: ice waves. Dramatic, ethereal, and absolutely mind-blowing. This to me defines a proper out-of-this-world experience. This is Antarctica. We leave directly from camp, walking across a rocky expanse, and at the ice waves we put on our crampons and head up for an adventure. We have to be roped up to keep safe, and the views at this time of the year, late January, early Feb, are when we see the blue rivers cutting through the waves. The blue is so iridescent, it doesn't seem real. The day ends with cocktails and canapes as always, and honestly, I'm so grateful for this life. Until tomorrow and day 6. Today, we're staying closer to home. First, we're hiking up the side of the glacier to the top of the Whichaway Nunatak. A nunatak means lonely mountain, by the way. Up here, there's more blue glacial ice, which is perfect for our photo reels, before we enjoy a champagne picnic lunch on another spectacular day of weather. It was a balmy 0 degrees Celsius, or about 32 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning some of us were only in our base layers of clothing. After lunch was one of my favourite activities, ice climbing. And the reason I love this is because it shows me the best of the human spirit. Fear, insecurity, feelings of lack, they all get replaced with bravery, team spirit, and total joy. I'm cutting today short, but we'll share our final moments of the trip tomorrow in my day 7. So, as happens in Antarctica, last night we had a change of plan. After dinner at the end of day 6, we were told the flight out of Antarctica needed to launch earlier than expected due to weather. So we sadly said goodbye to Whichaway and the incredible team here and flew to Fang for one last night on ice. Thanks, Antarctica. It's been wonderful as always. Until next time. The next morning, the Airbus landed before lunch to fly us back to Cape Town and back to reality. This truly was one of the most joyful weeks of my life. The group of humans I shared this with showed me how strangers can bond to become friends and how Antarctica builds community like nowhere else. Maybe it's being disconnected, maybe it's being offered moments of bravery, maybe it's being at the end of the world. Whatever it is, I'm in and I'm grateful. Thanks for following my adventures, and I hope we see you on ice one day.